Hi, Sarah. I told you that I would respond to you and what you've done with your patch exercise after you posted them on Five Pencil Method Community. And basically, what I wanted to be able to do is just show you and talk about the fact that you've done a beautiful job. There's a few little tweaks because you obviously are going to do some wonderful things. You've got a great grasp of your control and a number of things. And if I can help you tweak this a little bit, you're going to do some amazing gradations and contours on your drawings. So some of the things that I want to be able to encourage you with and others is that Sarah here has learned the tapered stroke and has a pretty good control as obviously she's got her hand down, her heel of her hand down, and she's got that pivot point down to where she's putting her strokes, laying them side by side and creating these wonderful gradations. The things that we want to be able to do in this exercise is to be able to show that there's a clean edge. This is something we want to start practicing very early. We want to have a clean edge. This is going to be an opportunity for us to show things that go around and out of sight or may disappear from our view. These are our opportunities for dimensional edges to bring depth into our picture. And then on the other hand, we want to be able to see the other three sides. As you see, this top and this side and the bottom should be soft. And that is something that is happening here for the most part. I want you to try, and you're doing a very good job, but try to fade this away so you don't really see where it stops. The more you can do that, the more you're going to have wonderful contours into the highlights in cheeks and chins and everything else you want to try. And so just start thinking about the fact that you don't want to come to a stop. Try to just fade it away as best you can. That's your challenge. I would like to see a little more of a difference between the values. It looks like this goes from very light to quite a bit darker pretty quick. I'm not sure if you're pressing too hard with the 2H. And one thing you want to remember with the patch exercise is this is your opportunity to take that tapered stroke and now lay those strokes in a controlled way side by side so that you can start creating continuous gradations. And you want to be able to maybe linger a little less. There'll be a little less value also because you may lighten up on your pressure, and you'll gradually see this get lighter and lighter and lighter without an interruption. So if you can take this and maybe take this leading edge that's a little darker and spread it out a little further in a gradation, you should see it continually getting lighter. But if you could take this and just fade it away a little bit more so that you can show more of a contour without this actual line. These are just goals. And again, I think you're doing a fabulous job. This is going to help you improve it. Now, you can always reach back in and catch something you might have missed. And if you see something like this, it's a dot, this is your opportunity to learn how to take the pointed end of your kneaded eraser and to be able to just pick off a dot. This is going to give you that opportunity to see, well, how much pressure do I need to put on there to just lift that off? And it's also an opportunity to find out if you can lift it off, because this is very important. This patch exercise is not only going to help you develop control, it is going to help you see what each pencil will do on its own. Each grade of pencil should be a little different than the last one, and you should see it progressively get darker as it goes to the softer pencils. So your 4H is the lightest, and that's why I wanted you to label them. You've done great there. And then your 4B is going to be the darkest one. And as you keep going, you should see a little darker range of value within that range of possibilities for that pencil without pressing too hard. I want you to get used to using the appropriate pencil instead of more pressure, although there is some range of pressure within the patch on each one of these pencils. But then when you get farther and farther towards the softer pencils, they'll get a little grainier, and that's exactly what you want to know. You want to be able to absorb that and see what you're going to be able to utilize later, maybe for a texture. This is going to help you understand why we need an undercoating with that 4H as we start layering them in the sphere. The sphere is going to give us an opportunity to start taking these patches and laying them together and overlapping in a way that's going to create the most wonderful contours and gradations. and showing something that's really round. And so I just think you're doing a wonderful job. You have, like I might, if I'm starting these patches, every once in a while I'll have the same thing happen, but it's a little bit abrupt when it landed here. But I think these are so exceptional, I just wanted to show everybody. And these are some things, again, that you can tweak. And if you can get a good handle on this before you move on to the sphere, it's just going to really make a difference. So I would look for a little better range of value within your patches so that this gets a little darker than this one. It's not as dark as this one. And make sure that this is not as dark as the 2B. And this is not as, the 2B is not as dark as the 4B. And this is really important because you want to get a sense of this visually, the sound, and the feel. Those all three go together. And if you can practice it enough that you just have this inner sense, oh, I think I'm pressing too hard. Oh, it sounds a little different. Oh, I see this, it's just too dark for this pencil. It's going to save you a lot of grief, or maybe having to redo something or try to repair something later. So again, wonderful. Anxious to see what you're going to do in your next lesson. Maybe the sphere is what I'm going to be able to see. I hope I can. And then being able to move on and doing an actual picture, your practice is really going to pay off. So proud of you, Sarah. Glad you showed me. Thank you for letting me respond.